A-3, presentation or proclamation declaring October, I have the proclamation. A3, a presentation of a proclamation declaring October 2022 as the National Arts and Humanities Month in Coral Gables. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Catherine Cathers, Arts and Culture Specialist with the City of Coral Gables. So October is National Arts and Humanities Month, and we are indeed grateful to be honoring it here in Coral Gables. This month, we are especially celebrating the power and impact of culture to connect us, promote health and well-being, and create a stronger community for everyone. We have asked one of the founders of the Sanctuary of the Arts, Mike Edson, and the other founder is his wife. But he is here to accept the proclamation this morning on behalf of all arts organizations that provide meaningful cultural arts experiences here in the city. Sanctuary of the Arts is Coral Gables' newest cultural institution and is an innovative artist-led organization that incorporates best practices from artistic, education, community, and foundation engagement strategies. So Mike is going to come up, if you wouldn't mind, and then we also will have a musical interlude for you.
Thank you,
Sir, good morning.
Good morning. I would like to thank the Commission and the Mayor of the Commission for this honor, accepting on behalf of all the arts organizations in Coral Gables. My name is Mike Edson. I'm an attorney. My office is on Alhambra. And I'd like to introduce Rafi Maldonado, who is the Artistic Director of Sanctuary of the Arts and also the Managing Director, and Marina Radishina, who's right here. Marina is Ukrainian, and Rafi's Puerto Rican, which is typical of Miami and Coral Gables. Yeah. I'm from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Mike, I just want to kind of give just a little context of the individual that's here before us today. Mike is a very humble individual. He's not telling you the full story, but Mike is an exceptional world-class attorney who runs a very prominent law firm here in South Florida. But more importantly, Mike is also an individual who has given selflessly over the years millions of dollars of his own money for charities across the board. But his real focus has been on educating young children in this community from all walks of life about the beauty of culture, music, the arts, and he has stepped up in our community incredibly across the street with the foundation that he started there. He's also stepped up significantly in Lola B. Walker, in that neighborhood, by purchasing properties there to ensure that they're kept in the right hands and that they're going to offer beautiful opportunities for people that live in our community, but in that neighborhood. So Mike's a humble guy. He doesn't really say what he does, but we're really blessed to have you here in the city. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of the commission and the city. Thank you for always giving with just immense generosity and never saying no. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I'd like to mention some things that these two people do. We were fortunate, and thank you for those compliments. We were fortunate to acquire this property across the street, First Church of Christ Scientists, in 2019, right before the pandemic. And then shortly after that, we bought Missionary Baptist, St. Mary's Missionary Baptist Church, as you talked about, just across Dixie Highway. It's the oldest church in Coral Gables. It's the oldest African-American Bahamian church in Coral Gables, 1924. So all of these properties are historic. And what we did was we preserved the properties and converted those properties to the arts. And for example, we just got back from Asuncion, Paraguay, where we presented a 1-week-long full-length ballet. Rafi went down there to Asuncion. You may not even know what that is, 2.7 million people. And we performed that for a week. And then next month, Rafi's going to be doing Men Who Dance, which is an international dance program. We'll be doing it in Broward County, and then we'll be doing it in Dade County. And in 3 weeks, we're going to have Luis Santero, who wrote K-Pasa USA. He's got a cabaret program. You may know Luis. We just put it online yesterday, and it's already half sold out. It's the 18th and 19th of November. So in this year alone, we've already put on more than 35 performances. And First Church of Christ First Church of Christ Scientists, which has 2 auditoriums. One of them is used full-time for dance every day, all day. We have an artistic director in dance, Elise Arja, who was, I think, the greatest in the world, who came here from Rio de Janeiro, whose daughter is a principal at the Miami City Ballet. So this is world-class entertainment we're talking about. We're bringing in kids locally. We have a dance program with kids all over South America. Sanctuary of the Arts is already known all over the United States. People call us every day and ask us, how are you doing this? And from South America. So it's perfect for Coral Gables. We're right there in the middle of all this. Marina and I, 9 years ago, took over something called Mainly Mozart when George Bolsky and Parker Thompson decided that they didn't want to do it any longer. They had been running this as a chamber music society for 20 years. So we've done this now for 9 years. And Marina's incredible. She's a world-class pianist and plays in many of these pieces. We're now performing across the street at First Church of Christ Scientists, the large church. All of these were designed by Phineas Pace, who designed this. So we're very proud of that. So Marina we've put on over 90 concerts in 9 years. We'll be putting on a Christmas concert for 4 days, 2 by Sanctuary of the Arts that Rafi's going to produce, and 2 that Marina's going to produce. Marina, could you come up here now and introduce our musician? We're very proud to have this musician that Marina's going to introduce the New World School of the Arts.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, and it's a pleasure to be speaking here on behalf of Miami Chamber Music Society, May the Mozart Festival. As Mike mentioned, we have been working together and fortunate to have him as our inspiration and our engine and our idea generator for so many years. And we have been, I've made Miami Coral Gables my home for now more years than I lived in Ukraine. And so it's really a pleasure and a privilege to bring culture and cultural events to this community. And today you're going to hear a little bit of music, a little bit of something to brighten your day and bring a little bit of this universal language. And we're fortunate to have with us today Javier Hernandez. Javier is born and raised in Miami. He's 17 years old. He's a student at New World School of the Arts and is an incredible cellist. He is on his way to make a great name for himself. He is graduating this year and is applying for schools in New York. And I'm sure you would hear how wonderful he is. This is a glimpse of what we do at Miami Chamber Music Society at the concerts that we present right across the street at Sanctuary of the Arts. And I hope that all of you can attend our events. And again, this is a representation of what we do with beautiful music in Coral Gables. So this is Javier Hernandez playing a wonderful piece by Camille Saint-Saëns, The Swan.
This is actually a selection from the ballet that we produced in Asuncion by Saint-Saëns, The Swan, Javier.
Thank you.
start every meeting this way?
Actually, throughout the whole meeting, actually.
Sir, I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate you on your incredible talent. And I also want to thank Mike and his team for making the commitment to the arts. Without you and without your team, I think a lot of these wonderful individuals would not have the resources necessary to allow us to enjoy something so beautiful. So I just want to say thank you to your team and to your commitment to this community. And I look forward to, hopefully, like Commissioner Menendez said, Commissioner Anderson said, maybe we can do this a little bit more often. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. There's always a way. Thank you very much.
I'll read.
Yeah, read the proclamation.
Actually, in the spirit of competition amongst ourselves with proclamations, I thought I would have to embellish, but after that, I don't need to say anything, actually, but I will. Whereas the nation's 120,000 nonprofit arts organizations, the National Endowment for the Arts, the National Endowment for the Humanities, the nation's 4,500 local arts agencies in communities across the country, the Arts and Humanities Councils of the 50 states and the 6 U.S. jurisdictions and districts have regularly issued official proclamations on an annual basis, designating October as National Arts and Humanities Month. And whereas cities and states through their local and state arts agencies, which represents thousands of cultural organizations, have celebrated the value and importance of culture in the lives of Americans and the health of thriving communities during National Arts and Humanities Months for nearly 30 years. And whereas the humanities help diverse communities across the United States explore their history and culture with the support and partnership of the National Endowment for the Humanities, the 50 states and 6 jurisdictions and district humanities councils and local educational and cultural institutions. And whereas the nation's arts and culture sector, nonprofit, commercial, and education is an $877 billion industry that supports 4.6 million jobs, representing 4.2% of the nation's economy, a larger share of GDP, gross domestic product, that powerhouse sectors such as agriculture, transportation, and utilities, and boasts a $33 billion international trade surplus. And whereas the nonprofit arts industry alone generates $27.5 billion in government revenue and $166.3 billion in economic activity annually by organizations and audiences, including spending by attendees to arts events of $31.47 per person per event, beyond the cost of admission on items such as meals, parking, and lodging, making the arts a vital income source for local businesses. And whereas the City of Coral Gables and our Cultural Development Board recognize the organizations below for their extraordinary participation of the arts in Coral Gables, including the 2022 and 2023 cultural grant recipients, Actors Playhouse, Coral Gables Cinematheque, Coral Gables Museum, Coral Gables Stage at the Biltmore, Montgomery Botanical Center, Low Art Museum, Across Missions, the Alhambra Orchestra, Area Stage Company, Chopin for All Concert Series, City Theater, Compositum Musicae Novae, that was not easy, Community Arts Program at CGCC, the Dave and Mary Alpert Jewish Community Center, Florida Grand Opera, Florida Guitar Foundation, Friends of Chamber of Music, Friends of Miami-Dade Public Library, Greater Miami Symphonic Band, Greater Miami Youth Symphony, Les Halles de Cire Foundation, Merrick Festival, mainly Mozart, Miami Children's Chorus, Miami Jewish Film Festival, the Miami Symphony Orchestra, Miami Youth for Chamber Music, the Murray Dranoff Foundation, O Miami, the Opera Atelier, Peter London, Global Dance Company, Seraphic Fire, South Florida Chamber Ensemble, South Florida Friends of Classical Music, and South Florida Youth Symphony, as well as the Arts and Business Council of Miami, Books and Books, Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce, Coral Gables Community Foundation, Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden, Miami International Film Festival, Royal Ponciana District of Florida Federation of Music Clubs, Steinway Piano Gallery Miami, the Sanctuary of the Arts, and the University of Miami Department of Art and Art History, and the Frost School of Music. Now, therefore, Vince Lago, as mayor of the city of Coral Gables, along with the members of our city commission, do hereby proclaim October 22nd as National Arts and Humanities Month in Coral Gables. In observance thereof, we encourage the citizens of the City Beautiful to celebrate and promote the arts and culture in our nation, and to specifically encourage the greater participation by those said citizens in taking action for the arts and humanities.
You're at the end of the meeting?
Yeah, maybe.